Welcome back, guys, to Bardock Gaming's How to Make Your Own Prop Hunt tutorial video. This is video number 3, and in this video we're going to cover how to get your players to teleport from your pregame lobby using a mutator zone into their designated locations. To start, we're going to go ahead and do the Hunter's teleport, which is a little bit easier for right now. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to start by building another location for them to teleport into. So I'm going to go ahead and start by building that real fast. Alright, so I got that building made. So now I'm going to come in here and we're going to open up our devices, and you're going to go find the teleporter device. Go ahead and grab that. And once we have that in here, you're going to go ahead and place one. Make sure it's facing the correct way. The little pointer on it will tell you which direction it's facing. So now that we have that set up, we're going to come in here and customize it. I'm going to call this the Hunter Teleporter. This one, you're going to turn the teleporter group off, target teleporter group off, enable during phase. You want it enabled all the time. Selected team, this is going to be only team number 2. You do not want it visible. Turn off conserve momentum. I always make them face the direction the teleport is facing. Make sure they're not skydiving, and turn that off as well. Okay, so once you got all those settings done there, you're going to click on this one, yep, and you're going to go to teleport when receiving from, and you're going to select the pregame mutator device and on player entering the zone. So now, whenever this timer counts down and triggers this mutator zone, everybody in the green area that is on team number 2 will teleport into this building over here. So now, that we got that set up, we're going to set up the building for the props, which is going to be where everybody hides. So we're going to go ahead and build that real fast. Okay, so now that we got that building set up, this is going to be the place where all the props hide and the hunters will eventually end up to go find the props. We're going to come in here and we're going to set up a couple teleporter targets. We're going to set up one for the props and then one for the hunters when they eventually come in here. Make sure they're facing their correct direction. I'm going to go ahead and move that one a little bit further back. This one I'm going to label the Hunter target teleporter. And this one is going to be the prop teleporter. Okay. Customize those settings in just a moment. Make sure this one's set up the way it should be. So this is the one when the mutator zone kicks on that all of team 2 will come into here, and they'll just kind of wander around here for 40 seconds until that timer kicks on, and then whenever that timer kicks, they'll spawn here. I need to make one more rift, so I'll make another teleporter rift here. This one, I'm going to call this the Hunter in-game teleporter. Okay, and under this setting, I'm going to make sure that this is set to none, and then the target teleporter group is going to be group A. It's going to always be enabled, only team 2 is going to be able to use it. Teleporter rift visible, no. Actually, Yes, and then I'll come up here and where did it go? Enable during phase. We'll set that to none. So that's not enabled until that timer kicks on, which we'll go here and do. We'll enable it when receiving from the hunter timer. There it is. And when it's true. So whenever that hunter timer triggers, this rift will open up, and then they can walk through and teleport over here. This one we're going to set, this one is going to be group number A. And it's not going to have a target group. It's always enabled. Selected team, just team 2. Teleporter rift, I do not want it visible. No. Yes. No. And no. Okay. And so that should trigger just fine with the hunters, so that way whenever the pregame timer counts down, they're bumped over into their little hole, and then whenever their timer kicks down, they'll be able to walk through the rift and come in here. So the next thing we need to set up is the props. So the prop teleporter, you're going to set these to none. Enable during phase. This is going to be no. Just team 1 for this one. No. Then after we're done with those settings, we're going to come in here and teleport. And receiving from the pregame, or not, pregame mutator, yeah, there it is. On player entering. Actually, I think I've messed this up. This needs to be set to all. Okay. So now we're going to test that out real fast to make sure that that works. Okay. So now we just wait. If you're playing by yourself, you'll always default to team 1, whichever one you have that set as, either props or your hunters. I have it set as props, so I will always start as a prop. And I teleport in here. Alright, and it worked. Alright, so back to the settings. Okay. So, now that we got that taken care of, I'm going to go over the player items, or the player spawners. I don't think I've covered that yet. I've already got them all set up. So, you're going to find those under your devices, and they're just the player spawner. They look like that. And you'll just go ahead and drag those into your inventory whenever you're ready to use them. But I'm going to grab this checkpoint pad and also a channel device, and I'll cover that in just a second. Okay, so you're going to have 2 sets for how many of our players you got. I had to change a couple settings to make it even, to where now the island settings now have 9 players instead of 8 to make it even, so that I can have 6 props and 3 hunters, so that way I can have an even 2-to-1 ratio to props to hunters. So whenever you do that, you're going to go ahead and go over to this. This is a prop player spawner. And your settings are going to be here. You want this always. This is going to be just team number 1. Make sure it's set as an island start. I don't like them visible in game, so I always set that off. If you want them to see the little bottom pad things, you can. I don't like it, so I don't ever mess with that. And that should be it for each one of these. So all these are going to be set the same. And then these are going to be very similar, always set the same, except instead of team 1, it's going to say team 2. And island start is always on, obviously. So that's the things for the player spawner. So anybody that comes in will be designated as team 1, will be spawn over here. Anybody as team 2, or the hunters, will spawn over here. So we got that covered. after the timers have run down. We're also going to now cover how to get your hunters to go into the spot after their timer has counted down. So we're going to go ahead and place another teleporter rift in the area where your hunters will go. And this one we're going to call the hunter in-game teleporter. And this one, your teleporter group is going to be set to none. Your target teleporter group is going to be set to group A. It's not going to be enabled at all times. Select a team, only team 2 is going to be able to use it. Teleporter rift visible, yes. Conserve momentum, no. And off. Okay. So now we're going to have this set to enable when receiving from the hunter timer. So when that hunter timer rings true after it's counted down as 40 seconds, they'll be able to see that rift and go through it. Okay. So now that we got that set up, we're going to come in here and I'm going to show you how to make people spawn in here when they die. So that goes back to the checkpoint pad. So I'm going to drop the checkpoint pad in here, and I'm also going to drop the channel device as well. So we're going to come in here. Oh man, it's so short. There we go. Come in here, get to the settings. Enabled on phase is always. Activating team is going to be set to any. And visible in game is off. That. Okay, that's good enough for now. Now we're going to go to this channel device, if I can get to it. There we go. And in here, we're going to have it set to on received transmit. It's going to grab that player checkpoint pad and register. Okay. And you go to this transmit when receiving from the teleporter devices. So the prop teleporter on teleported, and also got 2 in-game teleporters. It'd be easier for me to go find the actual one I need, which is ironically in here. Is that the one? Yes, okay. So on this one, on teleported, send an event to that channel device, transmit. Okay. So now that it's set up, whenever the mutator zone kicks on, it will teleport your props to their area and trigger the channel, registering them to this checkpoint pad. And also the hunters, whenever they come through here during the same time, registers them to this checkpoint pad. So that way when either team dies, they will spawn here. So I'm going to end that video here. I think I'm running out of time. We'll cover more in the next video, so be sure to tune in and watch the next video and how to make your own prop hunt. Thanks for watching and enjoy your creating.